Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for June 25, 2025. The PCAOB Elimination hits Roadblock edition. And this story comes to us from the Wall Street Journal CFO edition, that the Republican lawmakers' proposal to do away with the PCAOB and roll it into the SEC has hit a roadblock, as the Senate parliamentarian has determined that the provision in a broader context, a broader tax bill, violates rules around budget reconciliation. The Senate parliamentarian ruled Thursday that the PCAOB and several other provisions in the big, beautiful Trump bill are not part of directly on the taxes. So that part will have to be cut out. Next up, from Reuters, all the fears on DeepSeek apparently were true, as the firm is aiding China's military and intelligence operation, no doubt data mining any U.S. person who is idiotic enough to sign up for it, and using shell companies to access high-end semiconductors that cannot be shipped under U.S. rules. The U.S. conclusions reflect a growing conviction in Washington that capabilities behind the rapid rise were due to the theft and illegal export of U.S. technology. Really no surprise, and it's hard to understand why NVIDIA and other companies got sucked into this, but here we are. Next up, from the New York Times, there is a global AI divide already in place. It's not coming, it's here. Only 32 nations, mostly in the Northern Hemisphere, have specialized AI data centers. What does that mean? Well, it means that a computer scientist working on AI in an advanced hub will need to be a part of the United States, or rather what we used to call the First World, now called the North, or any other moniker you want to put on it, but it's create a digital divide, fracturing nations with computer power for building cutting-edge AI systems from those without. The split is influencing geopolitics and geoeconomies, creating new dependencies and prompting a rush not to be excluded from a technological race that will reorder economies and drive scientific discovery and change the way people live and work. And if third world countries, what we used to call third world countries, don't really figure this out and get with the program, they're going to have a difficult time going forward. And our final story comes to us from the Financial Times, which reports that Tesla has been threatened with a fine in France over deceptive claims. France's Consumer Affairs and Fraud investigators have ordered Tesla to stop deceptive claims over the level of autonomy of its cars, or face thousands of euros in fines. Investigators at France's Competition, Consumer Affairs and Anti-Fraud Directorate said that an inquiry carried out in 23 and 24 found a string of breaches and offensive that were unfair to consumers and against the law. That Tesla engaged in deceptive commercial practices about the ability of its cars to be fully autonomous, as well as deceiving customers on the availability of certain options for their cars going forward.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.